Want to make a Christmas switch hat with me? I'm going to make mine look like Santa's hat. You'll be needing at least one of these, 5 ounces of yarn. Doesn't have to be metallic. Set of double-pointed needles. And at least one circular needle in the same size. And stitch markers, one for every increase and the beginning of the row, so it's knit in the round, and of course, stitch tally. And we start off with the white one, and cast on 6 stitches. And, but 1, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then, slide 3 stitches onto a second needle, and then knit. Start off by knitting 1 row, and we'll be adding a 4th needle a bit later. And this is knitted from the top down. And this is basically a bit of a setup row, essentially. There we go. And then we start adding. And the adding is done via a make one. And basically you take the line from the in between and slip it onto the back there, and then knit through the back of the loop. That kind of makes a little bit of a twist, so there's no hole. Knit 1, place a marker for the addition, and then repeat the process. give it. So now you have 12 stitches, and then knit knit 3 rows, and then basically repeat the process. Just flatten it like this, and I'll be doing this size, this color, for about an inch, and then switch to my red. I will be back. Okay, so I made a little bit of a mistake. You're supposed to knit your stitches and then make one. So this is, just did row 5. This is row 6 now. And let's do this correctly. And on this row, we'll be adding, when this row's done, we'll be adding the third double pointed needle. Lift and knit through the back of the loop. Go again. Go. Then fish this loose thing through really quick so I can keep it out of the way. Then we knit 5 more rows. And, we can leave that out. So I think the third will come in the next one, actually. And I'm knitting this like an inch. I haven't fully, whoopsie. Kind of making this one up as I go for the color scheme. And, of course, all of the instructions will be available in the description. So I've just completed row 11 and switched over from the sparkly white to sparkly red, and then time to do more increases. And hopefully this whole thing isn't too blurry. The camera keeps focusing on the stuff in the back, which is why I put that Tupperware right there to hopefully block it. Oops. Yeah, you might notice that I'm just about every make one I do, I'm sort of using sort of a different technique, because I don't usually do the make one. When I increase, I typically knit in the front and back of the stitch. And if you saw my pride hat or the Lostivities video, that's what I used. Wait, no, I didn't. That was from the bottom down. Sorry. Oh yeah, pretty much all the stuff I've taught has been decrease instead of increase, so ignore that. Oops, here we go. And the knitting through the back was to hide holes, and I unfortunately haven't really done that well. But it's not a terrible thing, honestly. Could be a good luck, especially if you live where it's warm. Then a few more rows, and I'll be back. Okay, so here's row 17 done. And this row, I believe I'll be adding the third needle. So I'll be putting 10 on here. Actually, probably 11. So that I can have those on still. Then, for this one, then, just have it relatively equal after that. Okay, so it's 10 and 11. Then add our third here. Or, like, at least enough to put this thing on. 3. and it should be around 5 rows between your make one rows. Okay, so here's row 23 done. And because all of this is just repeating the process over and over again, I think that I will just do all of this and then cut back when, or return to the video once I get a bit closer to the end, like to where the brim is. And since it's basically just all of this every 6 rows or rounds. So I will talk to you then. So I just finished row 66, and this next one, row 67, is going to be the final increase on the body. And then with instead of just adding 5 regular knitted rows, you'll actually be adding 10, and then we'll be starting with the brim, which there will be a lot more of these make ones. And for the start of that brim is when I will be switching back to the white sparkly yarn. So I will talk to you then. So I misspoke a little bit over how many extra rows you'll need before we start the brim. It's actually 20 rows instead of 10. So I just finished row 87. And what I like to do for when I get to the brims of my hats is to purl the preceding row, but that is not necessary. And then it will be time to start adding more, a lot more stitches and more of these stitch markers. So I will see you then. So now we start the brim, at which point we'll be needing a lot more of these, and this circular needle. And I've already got the first stitch of that one knitted, and we'll be knitting 3, so we'll be adding 2 more to this circular needle, since the third's already been first has already been knitted. Then we make one again, and oops, and place stitch marker, and then do it again. Knit 3, make 1, place stitch marker, and just repeat the process the whole way through. And then after this is done, you will knit 3 rows and basically be keeping that pattern done all over again. And occasionally, that'll just be moved, and sometimes they'll be left alone. So, yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I just finished row number 4, which is the third of the brim knit rows, and this make one, knit 3 rows will be repeated 2 more times, and then that will essentially be the end, which I will show you how to make a little, making a little border in the seed stitch pattern to help prevent the brim the hat from rolling, since that's common with the stockinette stitch. So I will see you then. I'll start at row 13. Okay, so now that we've finished with that one, it's time to start our seed stitch. And you do it this way, by knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and basically just keep doing that all the way around, and then you basically repeat the process in reverse on the next row by purl first, then knit, and then basically repeat that a couple times. So there's 13 for the first of the seed stitch row. And then, as previously stated, sort of reverse it. Purl, knit, purl, knit, and do both of those 1 time each more. So it ends on row 16. And when both of those rows are done, I will be back and cast off. So that's row 16 done, final row. And now it's time to bind off. And I know you're supposed to bind off in pattern, but I don't really like binding off in purl. I find it really complicated. I use that to usually hold the previous loop down, like that. So I don't, and it tends to make it, whoopsie, a little bit looser. Here we go. Try that again. And after that, it's basically done, and I will be showing a few optional things. So a couple of optional decorations, or one optional decoration, and one optional structural thing. And yeah, so if that's all you're interested in, great. And you can just stop here or watch it because the rest is interesting. Like, the first structural thing that I'll be showing for this hat will, both of them will be I-cords knitted around pipe cleaners. And you start off by casting on 4 stitches. Then lay your slide all 4 stitches to the opposite end of the needle and lay the pipe cleaner in front of those stitches, or behind actually, I think. And then just knit. Oops. Supposed to be facing this way, so this yarn can wrap around it. And the other yarn that I used was sparkly, while this time is not, because it's going to be on the inside, and I'll be using that extra to stitch it on. And as you get enough rows to keep it pretty steady, just move it on down, like so. Moves quite easily. And when you reach the end of your the pipe cleaner, basically just keep doing it, and it's really a pretty simple bind off, and then just kind of stretch it over slightly. There you go, just like that. And the next one is with the sparkly stuff, because that will be going around the brim to help it stick out and also keep from curling. And this will be over the course of around 4 pipe cleaners that will be interconnected by wrapping the 2 clear ends around each other and then knitting over that. And I'll show you how to do that when we get there. And just like the other one, just slide it as you get done. So I've done the vast majority of the little brim pipe cleaners. And to attach the end, or to connect the two, just lay them over like that. Fold that down, and then fold that one up like that. And just kind of stretch that one a little bit. It helps give this a little more stability, because it will lean over a lot. There you go. And keep going until you're just about done, and then we'll start attaching it. And the decorative bit is called a witch's belt, and it's a seed stitch that's knitted over 8 stitches. So again, we knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, and purl. And that's the odd rows, and the even are purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and knit. Then you will do that until that is about 23 inches long. Okay, so I've got the inside pipe cleaner structure thing attached to the inside of the hat. It's inside out. And I've also got the brim structure clipped on too. And basically we're just gonna attach this for these first few inches here, or this first inch. That. And repeat the process basically from this side all the way up. And for the brim, you fold these two together. And hang on. There you are. And start attaching it to the brim. Then, if necessary, we'll end up knitting a little, maybe 1-inch patch to cover that up, which I think I might do. And it'll basically be just that will probably be like 4 stitches by 4 rows or so. And I'll get back to you when we get there then. So I have elected to not make a little patch there, and just to show you how to stitch these two ends of the I-cord together. Basically just weave it through each end like this. Oops. That's where the vast majority is. That's exposed. So, just do that to sort of hide as much as possible. There we go. And weave any necessary ends in through. And fasten them off. And eventually trim them. But first I will show you how to put the witch's belt on. Okay, so this end with where all the loose yarn is the back. So you can just fold this in half and try to line that up as best as possible and clip them in place at top and bottom, and then basically just stitch them on. And the two front ends are gonna crisscross like that. And here we go. Just start off there at the bottom. This one goes around the top, and it's best to stitch it to the top and the bottom, but that is not entirely necessary. Just stitch that through. Go. And basically just stitch on a bit loosely, front to back, or top to bottom, just all the way around.